Hey guys, how's it going? It is Matt McNeil. Sorry about the lens flare. Anyway, I figured I would just check in. I'm getting ready to mold my Lost Boys Michael today. And one of the things that I thought that I would share with you about what I do, because I'll be honest with you, making a mold is not my favorite thing in the world. I'm always nervous that I'm going to screw something up, that my mold is going to lock, and I'm not going to be able to get him out. But one thing I can tell you is that I always do my best to set myself up for success. And one of the ways that you do, or at least the way that I do, particularly in regard to having a mold lock on you, is I always, before I get ready to mix plaster or anything like that, go around with a toothpick and check where I feel like my mold line is going to be, where my two halves are going to meet. Because the last thing that you want is there to be some overlap into here in the back and then it lock, or in this direction and it lock. It's usually prevalent in this direction. You set your mold line too far forward if there's not enough clay on your armature. Now, that brings up an interesting point, and the reason that I check the seam with a toothpick. So what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll stick a toothpick in there, and you can see that there's, it's pretty good, which gives me a little bit of leeway forward or backwards, but you don't want to make it too much, because the last thing you want to do is have the plaster get stuck on there. So what I try to do, again, is I go around, particularly on the top of the head where there's going to be a wig anyway, and check and make sure that I have enough clay on the armature at that junction where those two pieces are going to meet, so that my mold will not get locked. Generally for me, I'm terrified about areas like here, and specifically here, because this is kind of like a compound angle. So what'll happen is that mold will grab on there, and getting them off there is a real pain in the butt. And to be honest with you, I would rather fix a tiny toothpick hole now than to have to glue a mold back together because it broke coming off. Anyway, that's my process. In the comments below, if you guys have any better suggestions, trust me, I am all ears. I'm still learning about all this stuff as well. But I figured it might help some of you guys out there to know that once your sculpture is done, it does not mean that you cannot set yourself up for success by adding a little bit of clay. As you can see I'm doing here, I sort of stopped and decided to make this video, adding a little bit of clay along that line, particularly under a hairline, because you're not going to see it. It's going to be covered by hair. So anyway, and it's really easy to smooth out. Just add this much clay all the way around, and guess what you've done? You bought yourself a little extra space and a little extra wiggle room in regard to getting a mold off of an armature. So anyway, there you go. Hope that helps somebody out there, and wish me luck, because the plaster is going to be mixed.